What's going on, Exclusive Thoughts fam? It's Troy Spry, your certified life and relationship coach and author of the new book, Teach Me How to Love While What You Don't Know Will Hurt You. You can get that if you don't have it at teachmehowtolove.com. I just want to drop a quick Teach Me How to Love Chronicles on you because I hadn't talked to you guys in a while and something came to my mind. And so today's title is simple, is your man is not your accessory and your woman is not your mother. Right? Your man is not your accessory and your woman is not your mother. And let me give you this some context before I go into it. And the context is that I know a lot of you that follow me are kind of in this age range where maybe you are about to start dating someone, or maybe you're in a relationship and you've been in it for a little while. You've been married for a little while. You've been with someone for a little while. And it's not as lustful as it used to be. Right, it's not as hot and heavy as it used to be when you first started. So you're in a season because real life has happened. Right, you got your jobs, you got your career, you might have a few kids by now. You got all these things going on, and what happens is we start to take our mates for granted. So we start to treat our wives as if they are our mothers, just telling them to do this for us and do that for us. And we start treating our men or our husbands as if they are an accessory, someone to say, "Oh, I got a man." Or I got someone and you don't, And so we start treating each other that way. We get very complacent because when it's hot and heavy, when it's really young and new and you're a newlywed or you're in a new relationship, it's easy, right? Because there's so much adrenaline going, there's so much emotion there. But then what happens when you fall into that season, right, where real life happens? What do? What you got to understand is this. There's certain things in a relationship that are like a muscle, right? Like a muscle. And if you don't work those muscles out, they will atrophy, right? So you use it or you lose it. Things like love, things like kissing your mate, things like hugging, things like intimacy, things like sex, things like communication, all these different things, you have to actually use them and do them and be intentional and conscious about doing them in order for you to want to keep doing them. Because what happens in a lot of relationships is once they stop being hot and heavy, right, then we get really complacent. And then we start to blame our mates for all these things. It creates other fights. It creates other arguments. It creates all these little passive-aggressive behaviors because we don't feel connected anymore. And part of the reason you don't feel connected is because you aren't being intentional about staying connected. Because life happens and everything else is more important than your husband and your wife or your man and your woman. And that's not the case. That's not how a healthy relationship is going to be built, right? So stop treating your mate or your man like he's your accessory, and stop treating your woman like she's your mother, and start treating them like the person that you fell in love with, right? Start touching them again, start hugging them again, start kissing them again, start complimenting them again, start taking them on dates again, start being intentional. Stop being so boring, right? That's half the battle, is your relationship turns very boring, and then you start telling everybody in the world how boring marriage is and how boring a long-term relationship is, because guess what? Everybody that's single wants to be in a relationship, and everybody that's in a relationship wants to act like they're single. Well, there's room for you to choose which one you want to be, but either one takes intentional effort, right? And you have to have a little bit of skills and a little bit of consciousness and a little bit of will to make that relationship healthy and to make it stay fresh and make it last. So that's my point. Don't take your mate for granted, right? Stop treating your man like he's just an accessory. He's not your handbag. And stop treating your woman like she's your mother. Treat her like she's your woman, because guess what? There's always someone right there waiting to take your spot. There's always somebody waiting to take your spot, right? Don't give it to them. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching. Share this video. Somebody out there is in this season of their relationship, and even somebody that's going to get in a relationship needs to know this. So share the video. Go get the new book at www.teachmehowtolove.com. Appreciate y'all. Teach Me How to Love Chronicles. Peace.